Hello there. I am Oscar, the author of the Cardano Transaction editor, and today I want to show you the latest developments, the current support for hardware wallet devices. These changes will go live quite soon, but right now they are on the experimental branch wallet struct. And the way you identify if this has become available to you is to see if this hardware wallet CLI dependency is in the README. Now, the Cardano hardware wallet CLI is a project by vacuumlabs, and their CLI is very file-based dependent, which is the right way to use a CLI. But given that we are going to control it from the transaction editor, I would have preferred to have a different kind of inputs. And so I have a modified version of their work in my Ars Magna XYZ fork of it on the witness request branch. I have aimed to have my modifications as little as invasive as possible. As you can see in this branch, it's only 2 commits ahead. Although in earlier versions I was very much aggressive on my changes. These 2 changes are mostly around inputs and how you input to the software, so that you can, of course, never trust, verify that I'm not doing any funny business or putting your safety in danger. All the security is provided by their tool and the hardware device you have. I am not doing anything interesting here. As you can see, most of this, if you audit the code, most of it goes around the input and output that you receive from the software. To install it, you follow their normal instructions, just with my version of it. And after you have installed, you have to declare the editor, our wallet, where to find the executable. Now let's look at it. Let's follow the README now from the editor. The first thing you want to do is request from the hardware wallet the extended public keys. And for that, request extended public keys. You see in the bottom of the screen, I can request for a path. You should put here only the account path. That is the first 3 steps on the derivation. If you leave it like this and give enter, it will request on your hardware device. If your hardware device has those permissions, you can see my hardware device tells export 1 public key, the account 1, and it repeats the path for me. I click both of those buttons. I confirm the export, and I am back into my editor. You see in the bottom of the screen, imported public keys and just 1 path. To see what I imported, there is this master keys database table. And then you see, well, I have a fingerprint and the annotation is the hardware wallet path. I could have imported many keys at once. Let's do that. Go from 1 to the 3 hardened. This is a range. I hit enter. And you see in my hardware device, it says now confirm the export of 3 public keys. I press 1 button to approve. As you see, the security of my hardware device didn't tell me which accounts. And it's usually the case that if you're importing many of these accounts, you know what you're doing. So there is no need to show you too many things. As you see right now on my table on the right, I have all these extended public keys for derivation. These are the accounts. And now I have to derive the particular key files, the verification keys, so that I can know also which are my addresses. A good way to do it is, of course, call this function hardware wallet derive keys. I select which account. I want to go from the 0 and the 1. This is the receiving and the change paths. Then I want, let's go from 0 to 2. Now let me go for the typed files. The type files you see, I have just derived the payment extended derivation verification keys. Bigger. They have a specific file name, which is my fingerprint of the annotation and the tail of the derivation path. As you can see, I'm also missing one very important path in the Cardano ecosystem, and is the staking key. I will call again the derivation, and I will pick the 2.0 path, and now I have it. With that, I just had the keys. Now it's important to load them into addresses. I have address hardware wallet load for the first account. And with that, I can go to my address database. You see now on the right, I just created this 6 new addresses. I have a hint of which spending key is along the path and a reminder of the reward key. And I can choose to watch them as well, not watch addresses from previous demos. And with that, you can start working. Where you need more keys, you can always follow the same process of deriving the keys and loading them into addresses. What can you do with this? Of course, you can do a new payment transaction, and I can follow the same way I have shown in previous demos. I call TX new, and I pick which UTXOs I want to spend. I have at the moment only 2. Let's pick one which is full of assets, and let's send back to my hardware wallet. Now, this is a very bad practice. You should not be reusing addresses, but I will show you next how to use the hardware wallet, the wallet service from Cardano to manage your payment keys, and then use only the editor for very particular and special events. Now, this UTXO has a lot of tokens, so I cannot directly balance with the change feature. And so I need to say balance available, TX balance available. I paste it. Ooh, I have only 2 ADA. Let's pick another UTXO. Available balance. Let's send 8 ADA over here, and the rest should go to change. I want to see a preview as provided by the Cardano CLI. You see, of course, 2 outputs. My change address receives like 161 ADA. The other one gets the 8 ADA plus all my tokens. This looks good enough, and so I want to submit it. Now I'm back on the hardware wallet. Say new ordinary transaction. I approve it. Reminds me which network is. Right now it will always remind you for this because the new testnets, the preview and pre-prod, are not yet registered on the firmware of these hardware devices. They will update at some point in the future. If you're on mainnet or the legacy testnet, which you probably aren't, you don't get this reminder of the network data. So I clicked my 2 clicks. Send to which address? If you have a good memory, maybe you're sure you can verify, yes, this is my address I want. Send 161 ADA, that looks good. My other address, I verify, I approve the 8 ADA. Each one of my assets, 100 tokens, per asset, 50 tokens, other asset. So I just approve. Kind of looks reasonable. I have a lot of things in here. So, and I'm happy with that output. Transaction fee, approve that, I confirm. Now, the editor took care for you to know which witness paths do you need to sign with. It says, yeah, do you want to sign with that one? Yes. There's another one we also need to sign. This one. Okay, yes. Sign with these 2 witnesses. It says ready. I'm done. Everything clear back on the editor, which means I had a successful transaction successfully submitted. That is great. Now that you have the power of the hardware wallet, it really becomes cumbersome to keep managing files like we have always done, and which was the original intention of the editor. And here I would really advise you to install the optional dependency of the Cardano wallet, which will transform this editor in a full feature wallet and certainly on par with Daedalus. It's not as mouse oriented, but it is very powerful nowadays since I can keep track of my wallet. So what does it look like? Well, after you install it, again, full wallet integration. Before you could have create a wallet based on the seed phrase file, and then that master key would be saved, encrypted on the database of the Cardano wallet, but still it is a hot wallet because it is in your computer. Now with a hardware device is a lot nicer because you can register the hardware device. Let's go over there, wallet, hardware register. And it lets you pick from the master keys you have already registered into the editor. So I had previously done these four keys. I'll pick the first one. It tells me, yes, it failed because I already registered this. I did that before. The thing is, the Cardano wallet service passes the entire blockchain to see all the transactions you have done with your wallet. And I have done that before so that I can show you also wallet balances. So I have many wallets I keep track with the service, but the one in the middle belongs to my hardware device. Here you have the derivation path, the account, the fingerprint, and the fingerprint is just the first 8 characters of the wallet ID. As you see, now I have a large balance in the test network because that's the only useful thing to have is test ADA for all your testing purposes. Now, as I had shown before, you can have a log of all the things you have transacted with. Now that's cool, but I can do something different once I'm under the management of the service, is that I can create in a similar fashion like I did with the editor. The editor within the Cardano wallet service is a lot more limited. It can only do payments. So for all the token minting and all the fabulous things you could do in the transaction editor, you still have to go back there and register the keys. What I do want to show you before we go to payment is that when you list your addresses, the system, the Cardano wallet service, monitors all the addresses that are occupied. And by pressing I in here, you can derive any key you want. I think this is a nice convenience and a lot easier than using the hardware derive key files and then address load. You can do it at once here, and you can decide to watch them or the editor quite individually. You can toggle that as well. Now, right now I'm back to do the payments. I'm reminded which wallet I am, which ID it has, and my Lovelace balance. But I can also have my asset balance. I can have a list of all the assets I can spend. I want to pick this 3 tokens only. Put them down here. I want to send 15 Lovelaces. Address pick. I'm sending everything to myself. Let's pick again this. And this is one output that I'm going to send. The nice thing about having these managed by Cardano wallet is you don't have to pick the inputs. It does it, the coin selection process is done for you. And if here I press Ctrl+C, you see at the right it opens a summary. It is really a pity with Emacs that I cannot scroll this because delegating to the hardware device is a synchronous operation and Emacs blocks. You just go along with it. Now, let me go the path where you don't trust me. Whatever comes here, you just cancel. And now Emacs is not locked anymore. And you can see, well, coin selection. This is my change. This is my input. It tells me also to which derivation path it is going. This is my second input. right? This is interesting. I need two of them, so the balance is correct. And then that's my output. Looks good enough. So now I repeat everything. I do Control-C, Control-C. I assume it is the correct thing. All right. And now that you're ready to trust or verify once again, you verify on the device. Network protocol ID, send to address, send the 15 ADA, 50 of this asset, 12 of this other asset, yeah, 3 of this asset. That was my first target input, you see up here. Now send to this other address. This is certainly my change address. This has the 150 ADA, 154 ADA. Gives me all the asset fingerprints, a lot of stuff in here. I just agree, confirm output, yes, transaction fee, okay, time to leave, validity interval, confirm transaction, yes, it will sign for me, tells me which path, kind of okay, and using this witness, done. And I'm back to Emacs and I can scroll freely, it's not locked anymore. It looks good. And I can see from wallet helm pick, transaction log, this transaction took place already. It's minted in the block. It looks great. And that is it. I hope you like it. I hope you feel empowered. I know this is not the usual wallet where everything is easy. No, it is a bit more complicated at the expense that you get a lot more power and flexibility, which is the main goal of this editor. I want to thank you for your attention and your support on these projects. And I'm happy to read your comments here on the YouTube video or your issues on the GitHub page. Bye.